This is Mattjestic Gaming. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm here today to bring you another daily auto chess guide. Here today we're going to be doing something special, and when I say special is that I have been hearing a lot of requests from you guys to talk about the late game, and today we're going to be looking at especially for the late game. So we'll be skipping right into the round 26-28 for the late game. I have prepared 3 special replays for you guys to look at the late game in a goblin perspective. After this late game, what I'm planning for tomorrow and the day after is to look at the mid game and the early game. A lot of good decision makings in those set of times, a lot of good comebacks, a lot of decision that takes us into the late game or the mid game with the early game. So I'm very excited in the next few days to be sharing this special form of guide, and hopefully you guys can find it as interesting and helpful as I do. So we're going to skip right in, and what we're going to skip right in for this round is we're going to skip right into 28 onto 29. So I'm going to start here, and as you can see, first thing I want to show you guys is the positioning of this 3-star anti-mage. We were lucky enough in this game to be finding a 3-star anti-mage, and that's what carried us that far. We stayed on very high health because of the anti-mage and because of the anti-mage being 3-star. So anti-mage is really a carry. Now what I want to notice to you guys is that, oh sorry, definitely a mistake over there. I need to edit that part as well. So slight misclick over here. Yeah, I should just put this over here, it's fine. So getting back to it, so 2 things I want to say. We have been staying very healthy because of this anti-mage. The second thing is, this is old replay before the newest update, so the alchemist still does SS spray instead of the chemical rage, so that's something to be noticed on. And this is the turning point. This is the first time I started losing with those runs. So notice how the fall of my power spike really came very late at round 28 instead of the earlier rounds, because I had a 3-star anti-mage. And notice how in the fight my anti-mage was actually locking down a 2-star doom, which was intentional. So I'll be moving this to the side a bit. I definitely better video still, so give me one moment guys. Let's click again. So this can just stay over here. So let's go back to round 29. What I wanted to show you guys is what level currently I'm on. I'm on level 9 right now, and after losing the round I still have plenty of saving. And having plenty of saving and plenty of health means I can go into the level 10 as comfortably and as safely as I can with my interest from my saving. So this is a very comfortable position to be in as a goblin, despite the fact I didn't find techies yet. So I have all the other crucial pieces for techies, and even as this round goes, we're first in 6 assassins. Although we're losing and we're winning, and he had a techie as well, which is kind of silly for me to see a techie. I was like, he's denying me for sure. So the true carry here again is this 3-star anti-mage, which is one of my favorite 1-star unit at the moment for his utility and for his ability to lock down units. I'm leveling up slowly as I gain interest because I know I have enough health to level up slowly. If I was low on health, I won't be doing this. So this is the first replay I'll be showing you guys, is when I am in the advantageous position. Advantageous position means we can take things slowly and we can slowly build up the units we wanted. And here we upgrade the Long Druid. We currently have the Warlock synergy with the 3 Warlocks, and currently we don't have the best units simply because we had a 3-star anti-mage. That's what's been carrying us. It's going to skip a little bit forward because it's the neutral run, and we actually lost the neutral run pretty easily because our units are not strong against monsters that don't have mana. Here, we leveled to level 10 at round 31 with 41 gold to spare. So that means we're very comfortable still. I'm going to skip a little bit. We're going into the fights now. Again, we have fallen from our power spike. So what that means is we have plenty of health, but because we haven't hit the techies yet, we don't have the power spike that we used to during with the 3-star anti-mage. And as you can see, the Doom also doomed the Long Druid. So we'll be looking at a few losses here. So this was a very one-sided game from the start, but because we haven't hit our power spike in the mid to late game as in the form of techies, we really have to decide what do we want to do and where do we want to go from here. Here I'm looking around to see what they have and what the positions of the anti-mages are. And I want my anti-mage to be locked down to the correct target. So that's my first thing. I want my anti-mage, the 3-star anti-mage, to really be paying dividends or paying investment for his presence. Let's have a look at his fight. And did we see an AC over there? Let's go back and have a look after. So here, again, I had the choice of locking down the Tide and the techies. I felt the Tide or the techies was a good target, so in the end I locked down the techies. So as you can see, this time the techies didn't get his bomb off. Last time we lost because of bomb. This time maybe we had a decent chance. And it turns out maybe the Tide was a better target. So here we're getting a few minimum upgrades. I don't think a 2-star Alchemist will give us the spike we need. We still need a Tide and a Deucer, and we still really need a techies. Notice how I'm rolling at 10, level 10 now. What that means is I enjoy the highest rate, and because I have the highest rate, I'm getting all the legendary, all the purple side I want to see, which is very nice. Over here, let me go back here. Over here, I haven't changed the positioning of my anti-mage because I felt that maybe he can burn some key units. But unfortunately over here, we only burn a Juggernaut, so we didn't get the best value for anti-mage, and his Enigma really did do a lot of work over here. So as you can see, we haven't been winning any of the rounds. We started to getting a losing spree. And I've swapped the anti-mage again, knowing that last time he wasn't positioned properly. Rolling, I'm not desperate rolling, but I am rolling for techies. We did get our first Clockwork to 3-star, which is very good bonus, and his position there to protect us from assassins, knowing there's so many assassins. What I could have done is to drag everything back in the corner to protect us from assassins, but I also didn't want to get hit by massive AoE. Again, the position of anti-mage is off target. That's something I'm really paying attention to, and this Clockwork is just here to stop this assassin from wrecking my backline. This is our boat, and with the help of the boat, I think we cleaned most of the druids up, but we can't win any fights right now. We're having some casual conversation in the game while I'm searching for units, and yes, I could have had a 2-star Conquer if I kept the Conquer. I'm a little annoyed because I'm searching for Enchantress and the Conquer keeps appearing. And again, he keeps coming back. Don't need no Alchemist. And as you can see, as my HP drops below 50, I'm getting increasingly more desperate. And I think Tide was a good replacement for Conquer. We just had time. Notice how we have 300 plus ping over here. So because of the ping, some of the decision making was very difficult for me to make on the very short notice because of the delay. Here we're fighting the Black Dragon. Unfortunately again, the Black Dragon doesn't have mana, so our 3-star anti-mage can't do it. We lost with minimal health on the dragon, which is very sad. So here, we're rolling again, and we already found 6 Lone Druids, so we fused our Lone Druid the hard way, which is okay. Right now we're changing unit lineup. I don't think we needed lifesteal, but what we need is a good disable. So we got to do sit down, and we have a really good power up in terms of Gyro. I feel that Gyro with even level 1, the cooldown can do lots of damage. Let's have a look at the fights over here, if there's a quality of life improvement. Anti-mage is locking down the Doom, not a bad target. I'd say Doom on Enigma is great. Here the Doom is not bad simply because it stops the Doom from casting on our Deucer and casting on our Tidehunter. And Enigma does slow damage. We're okay with slow damage because we have a Deucer. So this is the first round we stabilized after losing from 94 health to 39 health. Found some timbers, nothing major. We're still searching. Hey, we found all the timbers we wanted. And for them, because we were on such low health previously, they are more desperate than us. Notice how here we have 4 mercs. being Timber, Clockwork, Tinker, and Gyro. This is why one of the preferences. If we have the Mercs, we might want the Mercs, but here I opt for the lifesteal. It's a hard choice, to be honest. Sometimes I felt the lifesteal is better, sometimes I feel that the regeneration is better. It's simply because we have Anti-Mage and the Shadow thing that I felt the lifesteal may be worth it. Too many good targets locked down, Anti-Mage can only do with one, so the Tide got his very job. And guess what? Because of this, the next round, I think I'm going to change my positioning. Again, we lost 11%, so right now we're sitting on 28 to 3%. Notice how last time the Tide was right here, and banking on the fact he didn't change his positioning, I'm going to swap my Anti-Mage. What I should have done here is to double check that he didn't change his Tide positioning. But because, as you know, in this game, I'm desperate for one particular little dude. I did even ignored the Gyro, but the one particular little dude never came, so my second best option was to get an Enigma. Here we got the Enigma. I put my Deucer a little bit to the front, knowing I have a solid front line. I want the Deucer to receive some splash damage. Here, this is what I want to see. We saw the Tide right in front of the Anti-Mage, and same thing's gonna happen over there on his screen. I have focused on my particular screen, but on his screen the same thing's happening. The Deucer is receiving AoE damage for being on the second front line, and the Tide was locked down by my Anti-Mage. I think that was the major game changer. And this game actually, despite the fact we didn't find the techies, we won the game with a lot of good health saved up, good economy, and good positioning with the Anti-Mage, Tide, and the Medusa. And that's the first part of our late game strategies that I want to look. So notice how this game we had advantage. We were losing health, but we were calm enough to spend our income steadily down. We never finished spending our savings as well. We still had plenty of savings to look for techies if we get more desperate. Hi guys, this is the second game that we're going to be looking at. This is the 3-part games that we'll be looking at, so for the late game. So what happened with this game is I'll be skipping as well to the late game directly. We're going to skip it to the point that we just found techies. So let me pause here. This game, unlike the first game, this game is going to be a big contract to the first game. For this game, which I'm planning to use this game in my early game and late game as well for this game. So this replay is actually going to be breaking up into 3 parts. This game is very interesting because we are not in a winning position as a Goblin player. We're in a losing position. And round 26, we're already down to 34% health. We're pretty high in terms of leveling because we just spent our savings to level 9. That's the level I want to be rolling for techies. In this game, we haven't been really dominating. We have been struggling to keep our health high because we can't find any of the key damage dealers in the mid game. So in this round, I'm rolling and I found a Tide, which is great. But still, we need techies, and I'm unsure which item to be given to which player or which unit. Let's have a look at the fight before we found techies. So compared to last game, which we were snowballing and we're slowly losing our health, this game, it's all about survival. Right now, we're in a high rank match that I'm not even sure I can be top 3. So as a Goblin player, I really want to survive. And how do we survive? Is by finding techies. Because there's no other unit out there like the techies that combine the 6 goblins for us to survive. Our HP is down to 26%. And we have 30 gold to be rolling for techies. We got techies on the free roll, and now all of a sudden our formation is going to change. We're going to skip a little bit while I change the formation. The key thing to highlight over here is that the position of the Tide and the techies. I want the techies to be in front for him to be dealt damage. I know I don't have a damage dealer, so the techies is there to be the front line to deal damage by receiving damage for mana. If Techie was in the back line, maybe he doesn't receive enough damage. We don't deal damage fast enough. So here we got a bomb. And we got a bomb early enough to do enough damage. So I felt we needed more damage for this particular set of rounds, because the only damage we have is a Beastmaster that's rapidly falling off, and maybe a Tide Ravage that's only minimum magic damage. Found the Tide, and the shuffling begins, I guess. We want to combine something. We want the gyro. We know the gyro is a great damage dealer, so we're going to sacrifice the Beastmasters that we're waiting, because he's falling off. Notice our Long Druid doesn't do much damage. Beastmaster does minimal damage now. And the Gyrocopter is going to be our next target to be replacing. So here we're fighting someone again. The Techie's positioning is great to be receiving damage. It's for him to place his bomb as quickly as he can, because we lack damage right now. We're going to be winning a few fights right now. And here, I sold the Beastmaster to give the item to the Gyro, because I feel like Gyro is going to boost our damage by a lot. And by in the backline, Gyro is protected by the Tinker that's positioned over here. Found the Long Druid again. So what I'm thinking is I might want a 2-star Long Druid. So also notice in the positioning, because those legendaries are tied and the tech is only 1-star, I grouped them together with other units so they only receive the frontal damage and the backline damage, not the damage from the side, because they're only 1-star. If they were 2-star, I'll just leave them as they are in the middle so they can receive enough damage to get their spells off quickly. Notice how here the Techie Bomb and the Gyro cooldown is what really changed the fight for us. Because of those two, we actually managed to say Gyro and Techie. Techie actually doubled Gyro's damage, simply for his good positioning and for his ability to get the bomb done as quickly as he can. Here I still wanted my Goblin pairs because I was really greedy in terms of pairing up for 3-star. What would be happening is if I lose another round, I might be desperately rolling and even selling my Goblin pairs, simply because I won't be having enough health to be rolling in the future. So it's no longer about the long term, but just surviving for the short term once my health is lower than what I'm currently having, 26%. Because it's possible to lose the Druid up to 25% health in one round, and sometimes that happens, you're just not prepared. Then you had 40 or 50 gold and it's all gone. Here we were lucky enough to get enough fruits to be killing the lizards. And we just made a hyper moose shard. We found the clockwork we need, which was crucial to free up the space, because we've been banking on this clockwork for 31 rounds now. Yeah, I actually clicked the wrong one into the timber, so that was a very much needed upgrade. And a few items goes to tire, nothing special. And here, I mentioned many times about the power spikes. At round 31, you really want to be on a power spike round to have the additional unit. That is what I feel most comfortable with, and throughout the experience and throughout many games, that has been propelling me onto the top 3 position. I can't say this will take us to the first position, because it does lose the late game potential, the long round potential, but this has really been pushing me into the top 3 position because of this particular strategy of having a power spike at round 26, 31 and 36. Usually 36 is too late. By the time we get to 36, we're already looking at top 3 position in the current meta. So we're looking for more units now, because again, this is the idea of spending gold to be guarding a health pool. We're looking, and we're looking around. We found the Alchemist, which is a very minor upgrade, I feel, but it's fine. So what is happening right now is I haven't been losing with my positioning, but I do want this tile to be on the side. So in the case we get silence over here, or something happens over here, we still have this side to be not covered up. So it's like kind of putting our eggs in 2 different baskets by the looks of it. What we're going to be seeing very quickly is that this is not going to be a smooth sailing. We'll be losing our fights very soon, and this is when HP becomes such a close call for us. We won this fight. I'm going to skip a little bit. Right now we have 4 players, and remembering how previously we were down here as the third last position player. So right now, what is in my mind is not coming first. What in my mind is coming third, because coming third will gain us on rank, and coming third guarantees us to be getting a rank increase. So I want to be coming third at least. So I really want to outlast Mix or Hypo here. For Ranger SD, it's no longer in my list of competitiveness to be defeating him. So a lot of the decision making here is to secure my top 3 position. Tide got Ravage off. I have 2 techies in the front to try to get one of the techies to slay a bomb, because what happens when techies bomb explode is we will receive minimal health damage because all the weaker units will die to it. And this time, with the lucky route, we actually managed to survive with no health loss. Again, the key thing here is the objective, what I'm focusing on. What I'm focusing on is to be in the top 3 position. I'm not here to win the game. I'm here to be in the top 3 because I know how far behind I had to have a comeback to be in this position. I was down here and everyone was much higher. So I know my late game potential is much delayed. What I want to do is to outlast the other 2 players. I have 2 techies simply because the physical damage from techie is so high and they're positioned nicely, say 2 bombs are placed, and they can really burst down some units over here. So here is the preference of having techies and 2 tides on the table. Tide does 150 AoE, 2 seconds down. Techie is 700 physical. With Alchemist SF Spring, we're doing a lot of damage. There isn't anything special because I'm just looking around to see if I need to change my positioning. I see a 2-star techie, I see Enigma, which is not good for us because Enigma really counters us. I forgot to change my positioning for round 35 because I was looking too much. This is something I need to be aware of because dragons can really devastate us. We really want item for dragons as well. The good thing is, being tanky as we are, we really tank the dragon with the Clockwork. The Clockwork will be doing his battery assault and really stop the dragon from attacking us. So luckily I wasn't punished this round. Let's skip a little bit. Here again we're rolling so we can survive. We're lucky enough to find a 2-star Tide, which is very nice for us. So no longer do we have a Tide fear of the Tide not being able to survive. And here what we're really rolling is a Gyrocopter or a Nature's Prophet, so we can get a 3-star Laundred or 2-star Gyro. The Tide is in a good position to be receiving most of the damage from the left and the right and the frontal damage. Unfortunately, he was positioning his units at the back and he critical damaged my techies with 1,700 damage. That was very unfortunate. And we're not very scared of his 2-star techie because we have so much armor. The fortunate thing is we killed most of his lineup. The unfortunate thing is we're losing health. We're lucky enough to be in the top 3. Right now, my aim is to be in the top 2. So, again, we're going to be spending a lot despite the fact we didn't lose that much in this round. Because we want every bit of chance to be surviving every round. We're 1 Bounty Hunter away, we're 1 Nature's Prophet away, and we're 1 Gyro away. We're finance a Tide Hunter. That's the awkward thing, you see. I'm buying this one so that I'm denying their chance of finding the Tide Hunter. Seeing how he only have 1-star Tide Hunter, now there's 5 Tide Hunter out of the pool, there's only 5 Tide Hunter left. I'm position ready as well, in case we get to the countdown of the last second, because I know Hippo's not gonna die. Just a good habit to be positioned over there, I guess. A good Tide Ravage means our techies can get the bombs off. But the sad thing is, he chained us with a static storm and a nuke damage. So I feel like I might be losing the game right here. But surprisingly enough, we survived with 1%. So this is going to be a very close call for us. We found the Nature's Prophet, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly fuse the Nodru to 3-star. He's still on the front position. Now I really felt that, you see, every time we lose or every time something major happens, I'll be changing my positioning or my unit composition. I felt that 2 techies in the front is too risky. I want my gyros to be spread out. I want my magic damage to be dealt instead of the lucky 700 physical damage to be dealt. So that's why I have 2 gyros in the back line, and this also really helps us to be avoiding the stone gates. Notice how those are stone, but this one have enough range to really cast under the cooldown, and that's the magic damage we needed. Again, my target here is not the first player, my target is the second player. I'm spending all the money I have to level up, to look for units, so that we have a chance to come in second here. Found a Dusa. So I might want to do so and a Tide for some magic resistance, but I really have no good units to be replacing. And since it's a level 1 Dusa, we exchange her for some spare cash, so we get a 2-star techies, which is a very much needed upgrade. I'm gonna go into this fight. Let's see how we go at round 39. Right now we cannot lose any round, so it's pointless for us to save any gold, and any round that we lose by 1 we die. A good position for the Tide and a very good position for the techie. Unfortunately enough, he got comboed like last time, but being a 2-star, he survived long enough to place that bomb. And because my units are so spread, and we did so much damage in terms of burst with Tide and techies, we won that round. Now remember, this round is Trolls. With Trolls, it's gonna be very hard for us as the Goblin player if we can't do the damage enough, because we are tanky, but we are not very good at killing units that are very tanky. What I could have done here is I could have swapped the Enigma with the Gyrocopter. Sorry, excuse me. And because of that, I could be doing more pure damage. And because I wasn't aware of the troll round at the time I was playing, I actually forgot it's a troll round. And by the time the troll round started, I look at my Gyros and look at my Enigma, I was like, oh damn, I could have, swapped it around so that I actually have a source of pure damage instead of the 2 magic damage on Gyro. But thankful enough, because of 3-star Lone Druid and because of the 2-star Tide and 2-star Techie, we managed to win the troll round without losing anything. And let me just go back for a sec. I think that there was a point in the game I was so focused on my units I forgot that Hippo actually lost to us massive. Let me show you the loss that he had. So right now he has 22% health. This round at round 39 is a crucial round. This round at round 39, looking at Hippo, Hypo actually lost 9 to the other player, so we were fortunate enough to not find the other player, and we were fortunate enough to survive. You might say this was very lucky, because after round 40, let's see if we can have a solid lineup against this last player, which is the first player. Right now, I no longer think I have a good chance against him, simply because of the health advantage. What I feel at late game, this is something I want to share, is that health is the biggest resource. If your unit composition can't change much, health allows you to keep changing your positioning. Let me show you what I meant here. I know I pretty much have little chance against him unless he's not going to change his positioning. But being a high rank Rook player, he will always be changing his positioning. We got lucky with the last Bounty Hunter, but I don't think it will be very much enough for us. Let's have a look over here. What I mean by changing his positioning is that if he loses 1 round, he can always adjust. He has enough health to be adjusting for 4 rounds. As for me, if I lose 1 round, I can adjust. No, I can't, because I don't have any health. So health is the most important resource right now, simply because each round I lose, it's the end of me. But each round he loses, he can adjust. So he has the options. It's like he has 3 lives and when I only have 1 life. And in the late round, each life is so important. So here, the highlight is, if we were to fight him earlier, with his positioning, we would have still won. So we deserve our place as second. Well, with a little luck, that is. And also to highlight here is his decision making. I think what he did here was, he moved some of his units so that the RNG of facing him again is going to be different. Let's have a look what happens on this round. Yeah, he moved his unit composition to the corner instead of sitting in the middle. And now, I need to adjust, because he adjusted. If I don't adjust, it's a risk. He will see his Tide got off before my Tide, because his Tide new positioning. My Tide did get his Ravage off, But this time, he didn't lose as much as last round because he adjusted his positioning. That's what we should always be doing if we were in his positioning. So here I was saying, just commenting what I'm saying, he's got way too much HP for me to work him down. And again, let me show you my adjustment. I knew he adjusted the corner, so I'm going to be adjusting to the corner to catch him with my tide. Let's see what happens with this fight. My tide's going to go, ravage most of his units, and my tech is going to place the bomb. So what I wanted to see is, I expect my team to be winning the fight because my tide had the upper hand. What I didn't know was his team were actually killing me, despite the fact we got an upper hand. Knowing how he won over here, we also lost our main round. So this replay, the second replay, is to show you guys being on a backward position, on a back end position, how we came back with the techies lineup and how our decision making was to aim for second, was to aim for third, then aim for second. We never aimed for the late game because we're desperate now. We just want top 3 position, and some of the unit arrangement with techies and with tide were really helping us to be surviving and to be gaining our position and to the second place of this game. To start the third game, what I want to say is we have watched one game, one particular, hold on, let me just double check everything. Now I did this for the YouTube guys, of course, that's good. So we're going to the third game. Before we start, hey guys, we're starting the third game right now. So before we start the third game, what I want to say is I have showed you guys one game of late game which I'm snowballing, one game of late game which I'm really behind. This time I'm going to show you a game which it's going to be very even for us. So I'm going to skip to about round 26. Yeah, this is a good round to see. Round 27. Let me show you the current position I have. So there's 2 things to highlight here. I have been sitting on the second, the fourth, and second, the third, and the first position because we're so close neck and neck. I have managed to save up lots of gold, and I have been saving lots of gold and leveling my level. So I can go to level 10 and search for the techies I need instead of searching at level 9. Which doubles my rate of finding a techie. Let's see what happens when we're fighting someone without techies. This is a troll guy as well, so we should really be spreading out for him. And that bolt is so devastating. And the lich. So we lost to him massively. So me being on the first position, all of a sudden I just lost a chunk of health. So I'm not very strong. And here, I'm going to level up slowly because I think I still have enough health. And I wrote once because I wanted the clock. But there was not really the justification here. Simply because right now I want to get level 10 before I roll for techies. But at the same time, as you can see, I have 2 Shadow Fiend, which is too many. When I get techies, I have to remove a few units. The only reason I position this way is just for the Shadow Fiends, for the enemy to come in and for the Shadow Fiends to burst him down. And also we had assassins here, so that was one of the reasons we were positioned this way. Drusa got her ulti off, but not quick enough. So we actually lost this round pretty badly. We lost it so badly, I felt it was needed, so I sell the clockwork I just made for the extra gold. And I think Cyrus was not very happy about losing to a particular player as well over here. So seeing how close and neck this game is, I leveled to level 10 without hesitation because I really need that techies. I know it's 29, I can be waiting for a bit, but I really need that techies. We'll be rolling, we got techies, and instantly we have to swap. We don't have much time, we're looking at 200 lag latency, it's okay. So I'm swapping, and I'm placing my units down. I know my Shadow Fiend needs to be changed, but we don't have much time. So let's see what happens after finding techies. Notice how we found techies when we hit level 10 because we have been saving a lot with this goblin round. What I'll do is I'll show you guys the early game and the mid game for this one in 2 separate replays at tomorrow and the day after. So we're actually breaking this game up into 3 parts as well. Unfortunately for this one, we still lost. And right now we're so neck and neck with every other player. Mix is the only one with healthy amount of health. I'm gonna skip a little bit because I feel that level 30 is not gonna be a challenging round for us. And it's not because we have the goblin armor. So level 31 is the round that's going to decide who becomes the 6th position and who becomes the top 3, because we're so low. A few reasons here with the adjustment. Let me proceed. So a few of them lost to the lizards, hence the lower on life over here. I decided to keep this Medusa instead of any other unit for her ability to sit in the middle, receive some AoE, and cast her stun. Let's see if we're lucky enough for her to cast the stun. Or the stone gaze, that is. Techie is placed in the frontal position so he can get a blast off. He got the blast off. Medusa didn't need her stone gaze, which was a safety call, but we still won this fight. Winning this fight puts us a little further ahead of everyone, but seeing how close this is going to be a very close game. Now, we're banking on a lot of savings. What we want is upgrade to Medusa, and we want the Tide, simply because we want the evasion. Now I'm in a desperate mood of searching a unit to take out. The only unit I think I can take out, but where I do lose a lot of damage, is the Shadow Thing. But what I really wanted and needed, the magic buff, so magic resistance buff. This is before the buff of the Nagas, and as you can see, the Alchemist still does SS spray. He's still the good boy. Now he's just a random DPS dude. We have the magic resistance buff, and he had the magic debuff, which is very crucial for us. I think we would have lost more units and we might have died here if we didn't have the Naga buff, but because we had a Naga buff, we outlasted the 2 other players and even 3 other players. We are top 3 position right now, 11% right now. So this round was very crucial. Let me show you the rows. Why I say crucial, I mean we got lucky with the rows, that is. Sorry. We got a Shadow Thing. We're searching. We're still searching. We found our last Shadow Thing. All the sudden our Shadow Thing is 3-star. So this is a really big power upgrade. And what we're looking for right now is a Medusa and an Enigma. And maybe some Timbers if we're lucky. But we didn't find any. Personally speaking, I think I am a big fan of Gyro when Shadow Thing is only level 2. But I'm no longer a big fan of Gyro level 1 compared to a level 3 Shadow Thing. So because of that, I'm going to keep my Enigma because there's so much evasion, so much things I need to be dealing damage with. AoE, I think Enigma can really pay off here. But the Gyro can really also pay off with his AoE. Keeping Enigma also for the lifesteal for the Shadow Thing, which is going to be very important for me. Seeing how close this game is, I really felt the need to be selling my Timber Swords instead of waiting for them to be 3-star. Here I'm going to roll deep. I found a jackpot, I have to say. It's such a big jackpot, I'll be selling my Timber Sword and my Gyro for this Tide. What's going to happen here is you're going to see a sudden change of positioning. Sudden change of positioning is such that this Tide is going to be a single target that's going to be receive all the frontal damage from the side and the range damage, so he can get his ravage off as soon as possible because he's level 2. If he was level 1, I'll put units next to him. We're competing with this disruptor. We managed to get it off before his disruptor got his off, and we managed to stun him while we were stone gazed. That was crucial. And here, because of we had the upper hand with the Ravage, we managed to lose, but we didn't manage to we lost, but we didn't lose everything. We're still alive. Again, we're rolling. I no longer need a Gyro, I just need a Medusa. I found the Medusa I needed, I just need an Enigma. Now let's have a look over here. The moment I found the Deuce I needed, I'm gonna readjust my positioning again. I feel the need to have my Deuce cast her Stone Gaze as quickly as she can. And I feel the need to have Enigma to cast the Black Hole as quickly as I can. So I'm gonna take a risky positioning on Enigma. Also, this is the Black Dragon round, hence the positioning for the Enigma and the Deuce. So let me show you the positioning for the Black Dragon as well. Here, this time, as the commentator, I forgot about the Black Dragon, but as the player, I remember about the Black Dragon. What's going to happen with the Black Dragon is Black Dragon is going to focus on the target over here, splash the target over here, and then change direction to the target that jumps to the dragon. Let's have a look. Attack, give some mana, then change direction. You didn't get to change direction, but the Deuce and the Tide follow up so quickly, we actually secure the win with the stuns. We also got a River, which is very nice. So again, on this round, let me show you the top rows. We were quite lucky by finding the last Enigma we need with just enough gold. So this also justifies Enigma to be on the front position. This time I want to split my 3 units evenly so the Deuce have a good chance of surviving. Because Deuce actually need to survive 3 seconds longer after casting. I really want to avoid the storm, the static storm. So let me show you over here. If the disruptor storms us over here, this side is okay. If storms us over here, this side is okay. So I'm really spreading out my units to be away from the storm. I really want them to storm us over here, to be honest, because most of my damage is over here. Let's have a look. We didn't find a disruptor, but we found the guy with the Demon Hunter that's 3-star. So what's gonna happen is we lost our middle basket of eggs, but we still have the disruptor that's level 2, the Enigma that's level 2 that's doing great damage, and the Deucer that's over here, that's a safety call. So we won this fight because they can't cut through us. We're the counter to their ops right now. Again, with the positioning, I didn't felt a need to be changing. And the only need was I felt the need to be changing the positioning of my Tide in case we meet the anti-mage again and he burns all of our mana. So what do I need to do is I need to move my units away, look at his anti-mage again, and I need something to tank the anti-mage. So what I did was I chucked my Timbersaw and my Clockwork in those positions, because what I saw is I saw his anti-mage on the 3rd position and I wanted something to be tanking the anti-mage. So anti-mage doesn't go look and see this and burns them. And unfortunately enough, we found the guy with Disruptor this time. We had too many tanks to be tanking. And the good thing is, Hadusa is tanky enough that we actually survived on this side. That's what I'm saying. So the Disruptor stormed, can only storm one of my sides, the other side can survive, can really push in. And hence we have taken down the elf player. Right now we're facing the last player, which is the mage player, but we have already the counters ready. We have the Tide Hunter to be the upper hand. We have the Medusa and Tide for the magic resistance. So saying I'm on 4% and he's on 21%, I know it's going to take 2 rounds for me to win this game. I don't really want to pull it into the trolls, because with the trolls you never know how strong the trolls will be, and sometimes the trolls just take you out. Let's have a look what happens over here. One thing I think I could have changed was the positioning of my Timbersaw and the Clockwork, because I really want my Tide to get the Ravage off. But I really like the positioning of my Medusa, and here she got her gaze off before they had their spells off. And this allowed the Tide as well to get his Ravage off. And Mix over here lost massively. He lost from 21% to 2%, he lost 19%. So this is the do or die round for him and for me. He's trying to pull an Enigma out because despite he's a mage, so here I realized I didn't want units to be stealing the Tide's aggression, I want to move them away. Because last round I was defending myself on the Demon Hunter, the anti-mage, but now that the anti-mage player is gone, I can have my Tide free of any other off tanks. Tide can be tanking and getting his Ravage off. So position ready? Here we're going to be watching him instead of me. We want the Tide to be getting his Ravage off, but the Tide got stoned. But as if the Tide had a Kraken shell, the Tide actually got the Ravage off after being stoned. Usually he should be stoned for 4 seconds, but he got his stun off as quick as possible, and we won the fight with a well-positioned Dota. So this was a very nice comeback for me, and I was really excited for this game. And yes, those are the 3 replays I've showed you guys. The first game is when we are on a winning streak, we're snowballing. The second game is when we are on the down foot, we're really trying to come back. The third game is a very even game. Hopefully you guys like the 3 selections I have picked so far. I really picked through many replays we had, and hopefully this was detailed enough as a first guide to the late game. I do have a little bonus clip I'll show you guys, which I'll show you guys now for those that have stayed this far in the stream with me, and for those that really looked into the guide with me. The bonus stream is just a test here. We're testing our high rook account. What I'm testing is, I have a CM in the build-up. Can a 2-star CM really help the Goblin lineup so we get a good initiate? What I have is a Disruptor and a Doom. I hope the Doom's the right target. Techies will be doing his bombs, and I hope the rest of my units really do follow up. So the bonus clips, can CM do it? And right now we're facing 1 vs 1. And CM seems to be doing it. He's on 1%, I'm on 13%. If I were to ask you guys who's gonna win, most of you will say me. And let's have a look here. He actually won the troll fight, which was, I was so surprised because I thought he was going to lose the troll fight. And over here again, we're going to team up, so I want my Disruptor and Doom to get most of the damage. Let's have a look at what happened in this fight. This is the bonus clip, the crushing. The techies have a blink dagger, by the way, that's why he's positioned over there. I want him to blink in. So despite the fact we have a CM, we had a Disruptor and a Doom in the front, his Tide still got his cast off because he had a CM. So it seems that the test, if the CM can do it, really failed us because his CM and his Tide actually outspeed our initiators, which is my Doom and my Tide and my Disruptor. So we lost this game, and we still got to king with this account, but we did lose this game. So that was a bonus clip for you guys who have tuned in, and I'm gonna go to the in-game screen. So to summarize, with the bonus clip, CM can't carry us goblins in the late game, so CM should not be our 10th unit. We should probably consider a Tide and Lucer, or even a 2-star Enigma in this case. I had a multiple lineup, but I just wanted to try if CM can do it for us. So thank you so much for you guys to stay this long on the stream, and thank you so much you guys to watch to the end with this YouTube video guide as well. I hope to bring you guys more informative guides and with more varieties with better editing skills. So thank you so much for liking and subscribing, and thank you for being a part of my journey to make more guides for you guys. I'll see you guys next time.